If you'd like to create a scene, a whole complete like diorama kind of scene in 3DCoat, then some techniques are better than others, and create, for example, a jungle environment. Let's already start doing some basic rough layouts. So with the sphere tool, you can absolutely go fast, and let's just flush in some terrain. Okay, so I'm gonna get rid of this. Thought I would use it, but nope. And let's make the terrain like exciting in a way that it, you know, let's make a bigger brush size, and good. Let's make elevation in this terrain. So, and all sorts of interesting formations. Let's make the terrain go wherever it needs to or wants to go. Okay, so here it is. And this is our terrain. We're done. You may ask that, how do I know whether this is any good? And my answer is, we'll see. Okay, so besides, actually, a jungle environment would have, in my view, a river running through it. So this isn't the exact good terrain that we need. And make the river like bend. Yes, so this is the river bed. And let's subtract some stuff as well. Okay, good. Here comes the river in a new layer. We can just, you know, use a primitive, make it a flat surface. We don't need it. I mean, let's have the water have some thickness, because why not? And let's also have, okay, let's press enter, and let's recolor this to hint at water. Okay, now we're going back to the terrain, fleshing out, subtracting. This is way better to work like this, because here you can actually take into account the water, the surface of the water. I said we would like to have a bend, so now we're gonna come down here and do a double bend in the river. Okay, there you go. Maybe we can have some island in the, you know, there you go. And this is good. Now we can subtract some geometry, and we can also create new little lagoons that way. But what's even better is that we can leave some elevation. Like if we'd like a big, you know, a big rock from here, and you can do that, and you are doing it. Okay, and what else? So here's a river, and we can keep it rough, that's fine. Now we just got to explore this terrain that we created. Let's explore the okay, so the river really goes like woink, like that, and because that's more of an exciting shape to. And well, yes, a lagoon could, I'm not sure if this is called a lagoon or not, but you know, the river can flow like that, the water can flow. And so what is the scale of this, you may ask? And that's a good question to ask. To me, I would say that a person is around this big. No? A person is around this big. Okay, so here is a little person. But I will make this more. Okay, so here is a person, okay? A small person, definitely. And yep, this is the scale of things. The river isn't too wide. Basically, one could swim over here really quickly, but let's color this a little bit, make it more soil color. And what else? Okay, let's start doing some trees. I'll use the person layer as a tree layer, and let's quickly delete this. Full from first point is sweet, and these will be jungle trees that are going in a certain direction. That they are. Yep, it's got some chaos to it, but it's also, so here, this tree will just, I'll place it over here, no problem. Make it there, good. And we'll also draw some other trees here. Good. Here. And these are just, suggestions for trees. They don't have to, obviously. Also, some trees will be likely to, have these branches, like a real jungle tree should. Oh no, I wanted to use the move brush. Immediately give it a 3D characteristic. Over here as well, that one as well. This, and this. Okay. And, okay, more trees. We do need more trees. Go back to the sphere tool. And I would like some trees here. Good. Now, while you're drawing a tree, you can also say that this is going to be a three-dimensional tree, the way I'd like it. And then you can go and rotate your camera in any way you like, and you can just draw any shape you'd like. Instead of just drawing, a single plane, which is the view plane, it's too straight, right? You can obviously tweak it afterwards, but the luxury of having, I'm going to have a fat base for this tree, and then, you can even just go ahead and say that I'm going to make it, I'm just moving the camera a little bit, okay? And we immediately have a nice three-dimensional tree over there. Look, see? And this tree is growing just the way I am envisioning it. It really is obeying what I would like it to. Let's make it go upwards as well. I'm just adding little strokes. Let's make a branch go like this. And we can obviously, it's pretty interesting. And if you want to play with the thickness, you can go to the inflate brush, make it, resize it to your liking, and press Control to make this thinner, and this thinner. And then we have a nice little shape. Okay. And more trees. Yes, please. So we can art direct. Sounds stupid, but art direction wasn't a thing back in the days, because art direction was the painter or the sculptor basically doing what their gut instinct was, and that was art direction for you. But now we have to art direct everything, right? So we are the art directors in our own world. And okay, good. Let's let's create a new layer, and let's put some leaves on these trees. So with the sphere tool, I'm gonna basically do this and this, and then this. We're gonna create some nice looking, yep, this went sideways. This can be big, so can this and that, this one. We'll be doing some nice, so these are just, I know what they are just blobs, and what we're going to do is, work off of these and create our own foliage, or the nice leaves that actually look like tree thingies. So I will continue, and you can always just add detail as you wish. Now let's color this, and just making a hue change. Maybe make it more good. Okay, we are already experiencing some good progress. So the jungle environment, obviously it needs more trees. So we go into the sphere tool and we say that we are building more trees. Yes, do this. Definitely do this. Now, since I am just a bit mindlessly drawing trees over here, I should say that you can always think your trees through and make better decisions. But at the moment, we are just all about populating the scene. The scene needs more trees, so that's what we're doing. Okay, good. Let's go back to the green layer. Oh, very good. And we can make some really nice decisive canopies over here that you might not make otherwise. Decisive, it just means that you are making blobs that are pretty, how should I say it? Blobs that are pretty. They are pretty, that's what they are. No need to go into more detail about this. Some blobs are prettier than others. And good, we've got some good progress. Now, if we press perspective, which we should, we can see that we have a nice jungle environment. Let's go ahead and choose the terrain layer. And I might want to, close this off for artistic reasons, like make this a little dead end. In fact, see, look at this, a happy accident. I'm making a little bit of a tunnel, which is, it's not a tunnel, it is a rock formation where let's go into top view, orthographic, and let's just move this. Maybe we can extend the whole water area. Control D, align to view. Good. Why am I using the pose tool? I am using the pose tool to keep the voxel grid intact. Intact meaning that I want to press W, I want to have these squares uniformly squarish. That's it. Okay, let's go back to the terrain layer, and I might duplicate this, and I'll just clear it, because I want to have a brand new layer with even larger formations. And this will be, you know, the mountainous, I don't know how you say this. Let's resample this to something low. We can make it smooth, doesn't really matter. And maybe let's have this a little bit a different color. Desaturate it a bit. Maybe make it a bit more light. Good, that's all I'm after. These will be the mountains in the background. And I guess I am making it a bit heavy on that side. Where should I put more mountain terrain? Okay, well, let's close it off. Let's make it caress the inner. And this I would like to, I don't know, I have a feeling that I'd like to make this more or less blobby. Good. Okay, maybe that's, looks like rocks. These obviously look nothing like mountains, but we can always fix that with, okay. Good, good, good. This is the most fun part of any. You are making up things. You can pretend to be the creator. Obviously we are not, but in this scene we are getting cues from the actual creator. Yes, I am referring to God. Okay, and maybe we can start making these fancy cliff type of formations. If we press Control, we can do a normal extrusion with this pin shape. And you know what is really nice is that you can almost make this like a character. Let's not make this anthropomorph just yet, but you know, you do have sometimes you do have an urge to make things look like humans. Okay, I'm gonna quickly push this in. You know, these are basically the same things, you know, like it's continuous. I just separated them for certain reasons. And good. Let's start adding terrain. Okay, we can duplicate this and delete it, and we've got the green material for free. So we need some jungle. Yep, that's what we need. Jungle terrain, not terrain, sorry, but jungle. You know what this is? Foliage. Okay, whatever. So we can come here and have a bunch of green stuff coming from all over the place, maybe even going into the water. Actually, let's do that. Let's have this go into the water, because I'm pretty sure green likes to go into the water. And you know, here's a good trick, that while we are drawing these in and having them go into the water, if I choose to, you know, do a, I'll show you. I'll go to the terrain layer and I'll just move this. And you can see that we can immediately separate these and have them look so cool. You know, when these jungle roots don't always follow the exact silhouette of the underlying rocks, you can almost make them even more exotic with more detail, because these little differences in the between the green roots, I'm going to make them brown later on, obviously, but for now I'm just going to keep them as green. They make even more exotic little nooks and crannies, I guess they are. So see, it goes in there and then kind of whatever. So let's continue. And if we really make a so this is also interesting. So you can make these like go out of thin air into the riverbed. It is pretty. Let's make him like branch out. Maybe that's a better way to do these. Okay, I think we are done with the, and we're getting into a nice place regarding the general layout of the whole. So look, if we come here and we say that this is a camera view that we would like to entertain, we could even say that, okay, let's make this even a bit more pronounced. We can do that. This is all putty, isn't it? We are kids in a sandbox. Very much like it. And yes, this is digital clay. Okay. Good. We do need a bit more green all over the place. So what I'll try and do is I will start using spacing. Spacing is, I'm going to duplicate this and delete it. Spacing only means using the sphere tool with a large spacing, maybe a even larger spacing. What if I said painting with dabs? Okay, no. Oh, draw with chunks. No thanks. There you go. That was the problem. So now what I'm doing essentially is populating the upper levels of the jungle with all sorts of, and I'm going to use not position jitter, but radius variation there to make it more yeah, for now that's what I'm going to use. And this kind of gives a big, boost to this whole area, because it not only does it give it some organic feeling, it also fakes detail, because of course we need detail. In a jungle environment, detail is crucial. Let's make it bigger. And yes, we can swap the sphere for a rotated box, or maybe a box on brush. You know what, make it cylinder. Cylinder is, interestingly, kind of just as exciting. Oh, rotation. Let's rotation amplitude 360. Good. What else? Radius variation. Good. The jitter settings are just as good. Yes. So using the cylinder is a better choice here, because we can give it even more randomness, because the cylinder does have alignment as opposed to the sphere doesn't, you know. And this, since the sphere doesn't have any alignment, it's just, you know, blobby. But okay, maybe we can make the spacing half it, so we get more bang for our buck. Very good. Good. I'm liking this. I'm going to press Control to subtract some as well, and thus we even elevating the amount of detail. So it's going to look good. Let's go to the other side. How many minutes have we been? 20 minutes? 30 minutes? And we have got some really nice things to show for. Now, what I'm also going to do is, I'm going to go ahead and press Control as well to subtract some cylinders. Just do that for a while. Good. And I'm going to just, you know, I'm just brushing along like there's no tomorrow. Yep. Good. I think we have a nice base for this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an exact same layer. I'm going to duplicate it and delete it. And let's see. Oh, yes. I'm going to go back to the sphere tool. Yes. And we need to. Okay. Maybe another. So what am I doing here? I'm adding a rock-ish layer to the surrounding terrain. So I'm making it as if it's, you know, adding detail again to the jungle environment. It works, you know, it just works. You don't have to overdo it, and you can be a bit loose with it as well, which we are. And very good. And you know, you can always say that you want this layer to be smooth, so I'm going to press Alt-D, that is my hotkey for this command, Alt-D. Then immediately you get a little bit of a organic thing. Now let's do the same with this rocky layer. And I'm going to duplicate it and empty it, maybe up the res, go back to the sphere tool. We have jitter very much set up. Oh, that's nice. That's just nice. And you know what? We should edit the shader settings to make these more rock-like. So I'm going to maybe get the saturation out. You know what? Make these darker, actually. Good. You can always change anything and everything later on. Very good. Oh, how many rocks we have all over the place. It's just going to be a nice organic looking environment. The environment usually gets its vibes from the overall. So we are faking detail, obviously, here, but make no mistake that the environment usually gets its. See, we already have some pretty nice organic looking things. Let's see what we can do to the canopies. So I'm going to go to the sphere tool, and I think we can do a whole lot, very much, with this kind of. Okay, see, that's very interesting, and that's a happy accident, for example, which I will undo. But I know what I want to take out of that, and what I want to take out is that we're going to have jungle. See, again, it happened. We're going to have jungle air roots, if that's a word. I guess it is. Air roots, or lion, no, not lions, but lian. I don't know how you say it in English. Okay, just to have these not look like absolute blobs. This is the main purpose of this pass. So there's nothing. Actually, you can lower the spacing, or you can make it like really 0.4, and then you can have the jitter. Maybe we can have the jitter position work for us a bit more here. Yes, this does do a better job at randomizing blobs. Good. You know, we could decide that, make a design decision that we want to make these canopies grow in a certain way and have a rule for them. So, because probably everything has a rule in the rules of the jungle. You hear about these are rules of nature, basically. That wherever the light is, then that's where plants and trees want to get close to. They want to, they are hungry. They also want to eat. And what do they eat? They eat water, they drink water, and eat sunlight. That's what trees eat, I guess. Now, this is a fully fledged biology lesson. Okay, good, good, good. Maybe these two blobs that are left here, we can... And if you have a concern about everything looking very much alike, like, for example, now everything looks like it's a Minecraft thing, well, you can mix it up later. Don't worry. We are just blocking in stuff. Okay, so here's the jungle environment, and obviously more trees are needed. So I think I'll be doing a bit more trees over here, and I might use an interesting technique for that. So I'll go to the tree trunk layer, which is this, press H2. And now I'm going to use the, check this out, the 2D paint tool, plane defined by before painting, yes. So I guess this is what I'm after. I'm going to duplicate and empty this to be safe. Going back to the 2D paint tool, and good. This is exactly what we want, except for using the jitter. Okay, good. Jitter position should be, let's see about the spacing. Okay, bigger spacing. Okay, like make it, let's make this big as well. Let's not rotate this 360, only 10. Okay, and plane defined during painting is a better option because it follows the ground. Very good. Jitter position, depth variation, forward tilt jitter. Let's take that off. Left right jitter. Let's take that off as well. Okay. You can't see it yet, but let's make the spacing really big. Painting with dabs, is that? Okay, let's rotate alpha along brushstroke. I don't know if we need that. Okay, I'm gonna res this up. Good, and oh, draw with chunks. Don't draw with chunks. There you go. There you go. Okay, what if we don't want jitter position? There you go. Now we have a bunch of tree trunks. I know they are super chunky, but that's not going to bother us. Rotation, amplitude, radius variation, I'll make a little bit. Forward tilt, jitter, and maybe that. And make a spacing, okay, double, let's see. Okay, I think this will work. Now, what we need to understand here is we really need that smooth surface. So I'm going to this will be trees BG. Now we have to start, and then I'm going to press that Alt and trees BG. Okay, so now we are on trees BG. Look at this. We're going to populate this with all sorts of trees. See? Okay, jitter position isn't depth variation. Okay, we don't want, sorry, depth variation. We want them all to be on the surface. And maybe make them tall as well. Okay, maybe spacing should be 10 instead of 20. There you go. See what I'm doing here? I am creating trees, painting trees actually. Good, and depth variation. Oh, I just took that off. So if we do this kind of jitter, then these should, you know, be like really all over the place. Maybe that's not what we want. Okay, that's too much. Let's have them as 0. Yeah, that's more like it. And I don't know, rotate alpha along, that doesn't do anything for us. Now, depth variation, radius variation, maybe. Is this going to be very much over the top? It will. Okay, well, alpha cut threshold, not sure what this does. 0.5. Okay, we don't need that. Minimal thickness, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I think we can, radius variation can come down, really. And let's just paint trees here. Tree trunks, sorry. Good. We can also make this like really long. Longer, taller trees on this side, anyone? Yeah, I guess we... Okay. So these will be... I'm going to make a couple of trees like go into the... Yeah, this will be enough, I guess. Good. Yes, so maybe also over here. You know, actually, you can do the following, and you say that I would like the plane defined by right mouse button, but, you know, I'm not... Okay, so that's way to just pick point and forward direction. Control Z. So what if I want to see? Yeah, that's exactly what I want. I want them to be at a certain... Now I'm really controlling these. These are gonna... And I can, you know, oh, well, if... Yeah, this is... So the depth, I'm changing the depth, trying to at least. Okay. Okay, view, can't I, well, whatever. Okay. I guess I am, yeah, that's what I'm doing. And since this is a 2 million, too much, 2 million polygons, we're going to resample this to something way. There you go. We don't need that much. We can also smooth it a couple of times. And believe it or not, we can go and move it. If I undo topological move, then it will respect. So this is exactly what we need. See, we need this to be more organic. Actually, we can use the Artman pen pack, which has like super duper. Look at the profile of this brush. See how spiky it is? And that's good for making nice little bends. Okay, maybe that is way too spiky. Let's see this one. Control Z. Maybe you can just use a regular default pin shaped. Yeah, I guess this one's better. And you can make the radius. There you go. You can do this instead. Just the tips of the trees. They can, you know, come towards the... There you go. And obviously we can now, or we should also address the foliage. So here we can actually do the sphere tool with jitter position. And let's see, that's too much, but it looks nice. Control Z. Let's just duplicate this for a new chance of screwing up. Okay, let's not jitter position. Rotation amplitude. That can remain. Maybe this will be a more favorable way to do canopies. Who knows? You always come up, and with 3DCoat, you always have a new way of doing things every 2 minutes, but I guess it's with every other software as well. There, and there. I mean, these can and probably look. I can almost paint a continuous tree line, if you know what I mean. Obviously, they will be to some extent incorrect, but we are only looking for jungle, what are we calling this? Jungle moods. There you go. And there you go. There you go. You can even start painting with broader strokes for that matter. And you will have some floating canopies, which you can get rid of later on. Okay. And you can definitely use these previously created things, green blobs, to just continue your maybe jitter position can be a bit more, and rotation amplitude. Good. See, so we are making like big shapes over here, and these big shapes are giving us new silhouettes that we can use for our adventures later on. Now again, if you think that this looks too much like Minecraft, that's okay. You know, from a distance, everything looks like Minecraft. We will fix that. Don't you worry. We have to get the big picture down. And yep. Good. And then we can definitely expand this whole thing to have it absolutely lush. So let's just duplicate this. Also empty it. And now we are going to use, okay, jitter position 0. But we are going to use this to make an even bigger, okay, rotation, amplitude, radius, variation, spacing. Let's take down the spacing. See, we are going to make an even bigger statement over here. I don't want to draw from first point. I would like to add to this. Okay, an even bigger statement where we can, I know we are destroying some of what we put on, but that's not a problem, because in this case, we are gonna have a really, really nice jungle environment. If I see a floating trunk, I will move it. No, I didn't. Yes. I'd like to move this. Okay, I'm probably in some geometry over here. There you go. And there is, okay, there. I can always, you know, spice up stuff later on. You always have that option. you know, I think it's shaping up to be something interesting. And, you know, we can always do some tweaks. For example, check this out. I am pulling the whole thing in a direction. Maybe I'd like to, you know, massage the whole establishment in a certain direction. And yes, we probably did make the water not level, but that's okay. Good, good, good. Okay, now what if we do, you know, we did a couple of tree trunks. And what if we just go back to not having jitter, not having a cylinder, but a sphere, and then I'm going to press H, because that's, I want that. And now I'm going to go a bit crazy with this and draw from first point, I guess. And from this view, I'm going to go and say, I am Control Z. Let's just duplicate this and delete it to have a little bit of a. See, from one view, you can decide a bunch of things. And yes, these will be planar trees, but you can just, you know, come here and say that, okay, I would like this. I would like more stuff from here, stuff from here, and change the angle. The angle makes such a big difference. Like angle swaps. You come here and you say that, okay, these already are gonna look different from each other. If you just see, I'm gonna poke one in there, a couple of them over there. Yeah, we need trees there as well. Doesn't matter if it goes into the rock at all. You know, jungles are basically trees, forests. Okay. And we are, you know, controlling this. Now, if you see floating trees, good for you. Probably there exists some. Okay, good, good and good. We can also do a little bit of inflation. This is where inflation isn't bad. Okay. Now, we should obviously go and populate this with even more green. So I'm going to duplicate this and delete it, or not delete it, but empty it. I inherited the nice green shader, which will be, let's just call it green, whatever, and then H. There you go. I'm on green. Let's go back to use jitter. Let's see if I'm going to use sphere this time. And painting, no, do not draw from first point. I want to, yes, that is exactly what I'd like to do. Maybe the spacing can now be larger. Good. Let's see if I do the jitter position thing. And don't worry about it being blobs. We'll address that in a minute. This just looks so interesting. Good. Let's give it this nice little good. And now let's make the radius smaller, like 0.8. I'm just gonna, instead of, and let's do act as Vox hide. Let's see what this does. Make the jitter position bigger, like 4. Ah, this looks good. And spacing, the radius, okay. So this is gonna be interesting. Maybe that's too big of an amplitude. Now, as you can see, we're destroying this, but non-destructively, if you believe it. And there you go. Act as Vox hide is a special secret power of. We're not destroying this, we are hiding a lot of it. But in the future, you just got to remember that you didn't destroy this, you just hid it. So it will remain there in 3DCoat's memory, I guess. And you've got to account for it. Okay, I think this is gonna be enough. Okay, there you go. It's not bad at all. Not bad at all. We can, this is lush and forest environment in action. And if you don't believe it, then don't. But I believe it because I think it's going to look good in the end. I don't think it looks bad now either. Good. Maybe we can add more detail to these pretty low poly big